after last night's loss to the Orlando Magic, the Knicks have officially ended the first half of the season, and Chris and I are here to break it all down. What's up, guys? It's your boy Dariel and Chris from Knicks Digest. And Chris, let's jump right into it. Obviously, we made some big trades in the first half of the season. Alec Burks, Bogdanovich, OG Anunoby. Unfortunately, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, a lot of our key players. We've been going through the injury bug. But I just wanted to get your overall take of the first half of the season, what you liked, what you saw, anything from Coach Tibbs, anywhere you want to go, man.
Yeah, we're on a 4-game losing streak. No team needed the All-Star break more than we did. Our entire team's injured. I just made a video about people kind of doing the whole minutes thing with Tibbs and being like, oh my God, he overplays his guys. Statistically, he doesn't really. Not now. He did. He believe me, he did. Luol Deng, back-to-back seasons, averaging 40 minutes per game. That's overplaying someone. But, he doesn't with this Knicks team. Yeah, he plays the best players a lot of minutes. And right now, he's overplaying Brunson. But it's because we keep having 9 guys available, counting our two-way contracts.
Facts.
We've been in a little bit of a rut for the last 4 games because our team has no one healthy. As of right now, we have one healthy starter from the beginning of the year. That's Jalen Brunson. And I know RJ's gone, but, I just replace RJ with OG in this scenario. And it's just...
Jalen's actually a little hurt too because you didn't watch the game last night. He tweaked his ankle, but it wasn't. He didn't land on some. He did land on someone's foot, but it's not your traditional ankle roll where the ankle twists to the outside. He actually twisted it to the inside, and he was able to play the rest of the game. But they were getting blown out, so Coach Tibbs sat him down. But having said that, he's injured as well. So that just goes to prove your point.
Yeah, we're getting battered right now with injuries. We need this break. It'll be good to have. I know that Mitchell Robinson begins, because I was reading the NBA injury report yesterday, Mitch begins his on-court activities after the All-Star break. So he'll slowly be making his way back to the team.
Okay.
And he's obviously the farthest one out. OG should be back sometime pretty soon. I mean, it said, I don't think there's going to be that much of a reevaluation for him. Got a minor procedure done. And then Julius, it's yet to see. We have to know if the rehab has been working, because if it hasn't and his shoulder is going to keep popping out of place, well then, probably gonna need. And there goes any actual there goes a lot of the likelihood that we could make the Eastern Conference Finals, because we do need Julius, despite what some people in our fan base believe.
Facts. So okay, in a hypothetical world, All-Star break is over. We got all of our players. We got the starting 5 back. We got Jalen Brunson at the 1. We got Dante at the 2. We got OG at the 3. We got Randall at the 4. We got Big Mitch at the 5. Isaiah Hartenstein coming off the bench. Bogey off the bench. Alec Burks off the bench. Deuce off the bench. Josh Hart. Tell me what your level of excitement is. The video I did yesterday prior to the post game, I was just talking about how I'm excited, and I'm definitely really, really anxious to see just this team put together. But this downside of it is that Julius Randle, it's pretty obvious that he's going to be playing for the rest of the season with a messed up shoulder. So we're not going to see Julius Randle at his best. He's going to push through because he is a tough guy. He's a bulldog, and we do appreciate that. But then there's going to be people like you coming up with excuses if he doesn't show up in the playoffs. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, no, I'm excited to see this team, man, together. Mitch at the starting 5, and I said in the video that I think we could contend with anybody. The Boston Celtics, I think we, depending on if they're fully healthy, I still think it could be a 6-game series, maybe push to the 7. Because Kristaps, he's just a big question mark. He's injury prone. You don't know what's up with him. And I watched a little bit of the Boston Celtics, and he's actually the one that makes a lot of things go for that offense. If he's not in the game, if he doesn't play in the game, they kind of rely on their old ways, which is pretty much isolation ball. And that we've seen how far that takes them. It doesn't really take them that far. And the Milwaukee Bucks, Doc Rivers is a question mark himself, and they're not really even having a great start with him. Miami Heat is always in the shadows. You do got to be a little wary of them. But I think we have the talent with everybody healthy, as healthy as they can be. I think we have the talent to contend with anybody in the East and maybe make a surprise, or maybe not even a surprise, Eastern Conference Finals appearance. So tell me about your level of excitement after the All-Star break, and hopefully when we see everybody together.
I'm thrilled. I really, really do think that a healthy Knicks team is the second best team in the Eastern Conference. We just have the least holes. If you look at every team other than the Celtics, we have the least amount of issues. The Bucks got Patrick Beverley in their backcourt. Yay, good for them. That's not going to solve their perimeter defensive issues if they have one guy who's 35 years old and a good defender, not a great defender, a very good defender. He's not going to
Right.
save the Milwaukee Bucks. I just don't believe that. I don't think he's a big enough fish to do that. The 76ers, Embiid's injury got extended from
Right.
4 weeks to 6 to 8 weeks. I don't think Embiid's coming back this season. I
He
really
shouldn't.
don't. I think they're just going to end up shutting him down. It's clearly more severe than they're leading on. It's just because he was averaging 36 points per game that they want to bring him back because he's having the best season of his life. Don't do that. Don't risk him. We saw what happened with Isaiah Thomas when they did that, and it ended very badly. Now, I know that Joel Embiid looks like he could eat three of Isaiah Thomas, but still, let's absolutely not bring the guy back. It doesn't make sense. They're not going to win anything anyway. That makes the Knicks easily better than them. It probably makes a lot of teams better than them. And I'll be honest, and I want to know your opinion on this. I think as of right now, I think there's three, maybe four teams that can beat the New York Knicks in a playoff series in the Eastern Conference. I think the Bucks can. You just can't count out Giannis and Dame. Dame's incredibly clutch. Outside of one playoff appearance, he's always been very good in the playoffs.
True.
Giannis, who is Giannis,
Right.
not that much to say there. And the rest of the Bucks are good. There's a reason why they've beaten the Knicks a few times this year, and they're also just, probably the second or third best team in the Eastern Conference, depending on where you want to put the Knicks. Definitely the Knicks can lose to the Cavaliers, and we have to stop pretending like we can't, because it's going to look really bad for a Knicks fan base in case we get knocked out by the Cavs this year. It's very possible. Brunson's the best player on the court. It's not like he's far and away better
He
than
should
Donovan
he
Mitchell.
should be labeled as the best player on the court, but he's not going to be. It's going to be Donovan Mitchell.
You're absolutely right. But me and you both know, and sure, call us biased to Knicks fans, that one Cavs fan who watches our videos. Also, shout out to him just because he's awesome. Let's be real. Donovan Mitchell is going to be labeled as the best player in the series. Brunson's better than him. He's beat him twice in the playoffs. The Jazz were a better team than the Mavericks were, and the Mavs didn't have Luka half the time. And Brunson led them very successfully. And sure, and then Julius was injured against the Cavs, and Brunson led them past, averaged 24 points. Like,
I think the reason why, well, specifically that Cavs hater, I think why he'll probably go crazy with us saying Jalen Brunson. We think that Jalen Brunson will be the best player in that series is because talent wise, Donovan Mitchell is the best player. Talent wise.
yeah,
But you also got to take into consideration what they've done in their career. And Donovan Mitchell, with his talent, what he's done in his career has been underwhelming. With the Utah Jazz, they were consistently like one of like the 1 through 5 seeds in the West, and then they always get bounced out in the first round. Besides Donovan Mitchell's rookie season, where they surprised went to the second round and lost to Houston, and then the way they get eliminated, you got to take that into consideration, and that's why me and you agree on Jalen Brunson being labeled as the best player because Jalen Brunson has talent, and he doesn't even have the same talent as Donovan Mitchell, but with the history that he's done so far. Last season, knocking out Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games. Those 2 to 3 games when Luka was out, when he was with the Dallas Mavericks, and he pretty much put Utah Jazz. He pretty much put the Dallas Mavericks on his back and made Utah Jazz call him daddy. That's why we call Jalen Brunson the best player. We should be labeled as the best player on the floor. So just to get some clarity. But I mean, I do agree with your take as far as like Cleveland teams, as far as teams that can beat the Knicks. Yeah, I would throw Cleveland in there. You did say Milwaukee because of Giannis and Dame, obviously. I'm assuming you're gonna throw Boston Celtics in there sometime.
Celtics are that's why I was going to go with them last. We've already talked about it. I was just going to literally say, like, the Cavs because of this, and then obviously the Celtics. I don't think the Magic can because of lack of experience. I don't think the Pacers can because the Pacers play zero defense, and that does not work in the playoffs. It just straight up doesn't. Playoffs are way too physical for you to not play defense.
Well, you said 4 though, and you only mentioned 3. Miami.
Miami, yes, that's the fourth team. Yeah, the fourth team is Miami because they're Miami. Butler's great. I think the Knicks would win a rematch.
Yo, if we
Cannot count out the Miami Heat.
if we
Spoelstra's super coach, and they do have a good team.
if we go up against the Miami Heat again and we freaking lose, yo, I'd be so mad, bro. We should not lose to that team.
No, I 100% agree. We're better. We're much better this year. We should win. I think we could have won last year pretty easily had things gone our way. They didn't. They didn't fully go Miami's way. Not like Butler was fully healthy. But if more things went the Knicks' way, that could have easily been a different story, and the finals could have looked very differently because it would have probably just been Celtics Nuggets. But look, I do think I'd favor them in most of these series outside of the Celtics.
Yeah,
And
I would too.
that kind of caps them out at the very worst. They're the fourth best team in the Eastern Conference.
You mentioned you mentioned Indiana. Indiana, I agree with you that they still haven't figured out the defensive part, and in the playoffs compared to the regular season, it's absolutely different. The game slows down, the game is more physical, the game is more intense, and on top of that, it's going to be Tyrese Halliburton, who's the leader of the team, his first time in the playoffs as being the guy. But I wouldn't, and I'm assuming that you'd agree with me. Like I wouldn't take them lightly if we face them in the
No,
first.
not over not. They've had the Knicks
Yeah.
number all year.
Yeah, I wouldn't take them lightly if we face them in the first round of the playoffs. Like their energy, bro, their energy and the way they like to play, like it's not gonna 100% convert to the playoffs, but they're still gonna try and play their own way, and it's just that you can't neglect that youthful energy, and on top of that, the Conseco Fieldhouse or whatever the arena is called, like. Do you remember seeing them during the in
Oh yeah,
season tournament games? The crowd
yeah.
was
No, I
going
mean, the vibes are immaculate
crazy.
there. It's very reminiscent of
Yeah,
what your Knicks. Like it's just the chemistry's on point. The
yeah.
vibes are immaculate. They can I just don't think there's really that much of a chance that they beat the Knicks. Outside of Siakam, there's very little playoff experience on that roster. They need to figure out how to play defense. I just don't trust a team that doesn't play defense in the
I'm with
playoffs.
you.
I can't get behind it. Yeah, just to kind of go back to the Cavs for one quick second. As we've said, Brunson's better than Donovan Mitchell. I think the big thing is there 100% you're right that, yeah, Donovan Mitchell's a more talented player, but Brunson wins. And Donovan I don't want to say Donovan Mitchell's not a winner because it's not like he's been on teams that are perfect in like the playoffs that he
Right.
should be winning championships with. And we've also both agreed that Donovan Mitchell is just not the best player on a championship team caliber player. He's fairly close in my opinion, but I wouldn't put him there. Maybe he can become it, but I don't really see it as of right now. I think he's more second best player material. Brunson's just a winner, and he's been a winner. He's had a big role twice in the playoffs in his career. Neither of those times has he been bounced out of the first round. He's won 2 championships at Villanova. In 3 years at that school, he won 2 championships. He led a team in scoring in that second run, or led the team in scoring in that second run. Brunson's a winner, and so is DiVincenzo, so is Josh Hart. You have guys who are winners on the roster. DiVincenzo was a ring, and the Cavs, Darius Garland, Donovan,
Yeah,
I guess Strus, you could kind of say is a winner to a degree.
yeah.
Mobley, Allen, most of these guys have played a few playoff series. Just 3 of them have played one, and they lost. The Knicks are just winners, and the Cavs, as of right now, they need to prove that they are.
Listen, this brings me to a point. I did a video that's going to come out shortly about Candace Parker's rant about Jalen Brunson and how pretty much she did a really big cleanup job. Look out for that video. But she did say something that I kind of also wanted to pick your brain about. You just said that Donovan Mitchell being the best player on the team, you can't see him leading a team to a championship. And you're kind of saying that Jalen Brunson being the best player on the team, he has a better chance of leading a team to a championship. I do want to give you a little bit of pushback regarding that because I kind of want to say I agree with Candace Parker because Jalen Brunson is 6'2". He's not super stocky. Yeah, obviously he's a man and he's strong. He's not going to let anybody baby him. But honestly, the only 2 people that I can think about around that height that have been the best player on their team that has led them to a championship win or a championship finals appearance is Isaiah Thomas and Allen Iverson. And when you look at Allen Iverson's game, it's nothing like Jalen Brunson. Isaiah Thomas, you can make some similarities, the leadership, the ball handling ability. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like Jalen Brunson being our best player, like Leon Rose and Worldwide West, they have to do a magnificent job of finding the right players, like they did with Allen, not them specifically, but like the 76ers organization did with Allen Iverson when they made that finals run. They had Rajah Bell, they had Aaron McKee, they had Gugliotta, they had, not Gugliotta, Todd McCulloch. These are players that you probably haven't even heard of because you weren't even born. Eric Snow. That's crazy. You're thinking about 2K. You're thinking about 2K, and I'm actually thinking about the actual people that I saw on TV.
Dariel, when the Philadelphia 76ers were in that playoff series, let's just look something up real quick. What year was that?
2001.
That series ended on June 15th, 2001. That means that series ended 10 days before I was born.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just feel like the Leon Rose and Worldwide West, they have to do a magnificent job of putting the right pieces around Jalen Brunson. And yeah, I don't know, man. I hate to say it, but like as far as that comment that she made, I'd agree with that. But everything else she said is absolutely ludicrous. So that was my only pushback that I had for you.
Got you. Yeah, no, that's fair. I just don't trust Donovan Mitchell because
Thanks.
he's gonna have to face Brunson, and Brunson can't lose to Donovan Mitchell. It's not possible.
Let's go, baby. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you for checking it out. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Knicks Digest to the moon. But before we wrap it up, let us know in the comments what you guys thought about the first half of the season, and also about Chris and I's remarks about the whole Jalen Brunson being the best player on the team, the whole Donovan Mitchell hoopla. Let us know. But until next time, you always know it's Taj Gibson for president, Jalen Brunson for MVP and All-Star Game MVP. Hopefully he goes for it. Let's see. But we out. Peace.